Hello, everybody. My name is Kazuo Keishin Kimura, belong to the Japan Yoga Therapy Society. I'm very honored to be here on the occasion of the 19th Congress of the Asian College of Psychosomatic Medicine. Our symposium, name of the symposium is about the yoga therapy. And I'm the first speaker of this symposium. Title of my speech is, What is Yoga Therapy? So I generally explain what is the yoga therapy. And this is the scenery of the Himalaya, Indian Himalaya. You can see the snow-covered mountains. And this is the border area of the India and the China. And you can see the name of the holy place, Badrinath. And from the ancient time, yogi crossed this glacier and reached the Tibetan heights and went to the Tirupati, is the name of the holy place. Then reached the holy mountain, name is the Kailas mountain. And there is pilgrimage, the places of the holy mountain. We crossed the pass of the name of the Dorma La means the pass, and the height is 5,700 meters above sea level. So their life is quite tough. So once my guru told us that while walking around, while climbing or descending, he was afraid of falling down and dying. He was afraid he may break his leg. So I was with him about 10 years in Himalaya. And once he told us that those who come here should meet him privately, individually, and let him know what it is that we want to learn or desire to have. So this is something like an intake interview of the guru and the newcomers, or the same as a medical doctor and the newcomer of the patient. So from the ancient time, the yogi, the guru, accepts a new disciple. And at the beginning of our meeting, he collected the information why, the reason why we come to the guru's place. So I told him that I got the ultimate consciousness while practicing yoga. So he accepted me, and I stayed with him from his age 90 years old and 100 years old. And he passed away when he was 100 years old. So this is a traditional yoga. And from the ancient time, traditional yoga had human structure theory and function theory. This is one of the structure and function theory from the Taittiriya Upanishad. This is one of the oldest Upanishad in the Indian culture. And there are 5 layers surrounding the life itself. So most outer world is Annamaya Kosha, food shells, we can call physical body. Then Pranamaya Kosha, it's breath cells, vital air shells. And Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha is something like a mind shells. And Anandamaya Kosha, it's a storehouse of the old memory. And from other sculpture, Katha Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita, they express something different from that theory. we call human carriage theory. These 10 horses drove this carriage, and the driver's name is the Buddhi, and principle of the life is we call Atman, and in between Buddhi, driver, and life principle, there is Amkara and the Chitta. Chitta is a storehouse of the old memory. So if the driver is smart enough, we can run this carriage more than 100 years. But if the Buddhi is not smart, then we'll break this carriage within the 10 or 20 years. So from the ancient time, the yoga culture has like this human beings existence theory of the structure theory and the function theory. And from the 2019 February, WHO, the Geneva, called us to join the conference of the working group meeting about benchmark for training in yoga. So about 20 the people selected from all over the world, and I represent East Asia, China, Korea, Mongolia, and the East Russia and Japan. And I joined this meeting, and we belong to this traditional complementary integrative medical field. And already Ayurveda and naturopathy and Noid Thai, osteopathy, Chinese medicine, Tuina, and the Unani medicine, and eighth, we belong to this TCI sections. And the yoga becomes a therapy. So we need a diagnosis theory and the treatment theory. And we call yoga assessment theory and the yoga instruction theories. And when we assess the patient, we objective criteria, we use STI, you know the name of the clinical psychological test, and POMS 2, second version, and SOC, and some other psychological test. And beside this, we use a subjective criteria. So we made this semi-structured interview manual. We use from the old sculpture of the yoga. Probably you know Yoga Sutra, and the first chapter 30 section, there is a mention about the disease and the languor, doubt and carelessness, laziness, excessive indulgence, delusion, inability to attain higher level, instability. These 9 cause this disturbance of the mind, and they are the obstacles. So this is the cause of the trouble of the mind. Then other sutra, second chapter 5, there is the mention about the misrecognition. Ignorance, misrecognition is to see the ephemeral as eternal, the impure as pure, suffering as pleasure, and that which is not self to be the self. So from the ancient time, yoga is the behavior recognition therapies, because the guru used to check the disciple whether the newcomers as ephemeral, as eternal, and the impure as pure, the suffering and the pleasure, and which is not self to be the self. So we use this kind of the misrecognition theory as a therapy assessment. So from the Ayurveda side, there is an ancient internal medical doctor Charaka. His name is Charaka, and his disciple collected the Charaka's teaching and treatment method. So we call Charaka Sanhita. Sanhita means a collection. And there's a 7 volume of the English translation. And there mentioned his disciple, the Charaka mentioned 3 types of the internal medical treatment: spiritual therapy and the rational therapy and psychological therapy. And we belong to the spiritual therapy and the psychological therapy. Then Charaka mentioned Rajas and Tamas are the 2 psychic dosha predisposition. And there's a 3 types of the Vata, Pitta, Kapha are the physical dosha predisposition. So he mentioned mind-body relationship associated mutually, such as passion and fever. So psychic and somatic disease arises with these associations mutually. So this is the cause of the disease. When the physical, psychological, or both of affect the psyche, mobility arises, disease arises. So we sometimes go to the abroad and train these medical people in Havana, Cuba, and also the medical staff member of the addiction hospital in Thailand. So we are doing like this volunteer work. So after my speech, there are 4 researchers mentioned about their research work. So please listen carefully and please understand what we are doing in Japan and abroad. So as a yoga therapy. Thank you for your attention.